Hello, and welcome to the creation of Mute Chaos. I'm Willow Mute Chaos Bridges, your host and subject for this mini-series. Together we will delve into the creation of my online persona and how I came to the position that I'm currently situated in, while touching on what goes into what I do and what I know, and even more. So, let's get into it. This is episode 4, actually episode 3. I feel like every time I introduce the episode, I always say the wrong number, but it is episode 3 where we talk about finding your voice and style, where to look, why you should find a voice and style, and how to really kind of hone it in. Now, obviously, I'm still pretty new to this whole casting thing, so when I first came into it, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how I should sound, nothing. I just knew that I had to commentate a game and make it sound kind of entertaining. Eventually, through our mentor Leaf and through my classmate Cove, we both started all of us started talking, and they started explaining, find that commentator of anything. It can be a sport, it can be an esport, it can be anything that someone commentates a thing. Find that person that inspires you and that you want to be like. Now, I started watching the Call of Duty League because obviously, if you couldn't tell, huge Call of Duty fan. Is the one thing that has really kind of sparked this whole interest in esports. And so for me, I found a lot of the commentators and, the people on the desk. I was like, I like how these guys sound. Hearing them commentate these games and just be casters, there's something about it that makes me happy and quite entertained. So I found their styles, and you kind of take it in and you mold it into yourself, into your own style. So my commentary style is still in the process of evolving and becoming what it should be, but it's still a process. It's always going to be something that you're going to be working and learning towards. It's never going to be 100%, and that's okay. So, like I said, where do you look? For me, I looked at the game titles that I enjoy. Call of Duty. I don't really watch any other esports. That's just how it is. So Call of Duty is where I started looking. I started looking at casters, and I started even watching the players in the pro teams and how they kind of talk on streams, and then you kind of take it all in and you put it in a little melting pot and then you make it yours. Now, why do you want a voice and a whole style to how you cast? Mainly to make you stand out from your other casters. Curtis and I, Curtis Cove, we both have very different styles when it comes to approaching games, but they're also very similar. So when you're commentating one game and there's two voices, how do you stand apart? Obviously, right off the bat, Curtis has a male voice, I have a female voice. That's already going to dictate the difference between us. But on top of that, how do you show your excitement? How do you show, what you're actually trying to get your point across? How do you make it entertaining? That is all stuff that you want to kind of bring to the table when it comes to casting, because you are there for entertainment and just to be a voice. That's literally what you are there. You are getting paid to yap. That is what we say. You are getting paid to yap. Now, how do you hone it in, though? For me, it's just a day-to-day thing. Every time you get on broadcast, every time you go to cast, you practice it, and you keep doing it more and more. Obviously, you can also do it in your free time. I, for one, I definitely should, but I don't. I would recommend it if you really want to hone it in. But a lot of it is just putting it into work. I started finding, these casters in the CDL and wanting to imitate them. And so when I go on broadcast for Call of Duty streams, I try to then bring that to the table and work it into my casting style and just overall see how it goes. And then you listen back to it, and then you kind of take some points away from it. What did you like from that cast? What didn't you like? Is there anything you can change, you want to change? That's overall kind of just how you go through all of that. And it's fun. Finding your style and just how you sound is a lot more fun than people think it is, especially when you're enjoying it. Curtis, I know he has some commentators from sports that he tries to imitate, and those are kind of the people that inspired him to sound the way he does. And for me, CDL, Call of Duty League, those casters, Ali even is a big one. You take someone else and you essentially make them yourself, but in your own way, because obviously you don't want to one for one copy them. It's not going to sound right. You're going to sound fake. So find your inspiration, turn it into something that you can come across as authentic, and then make it your own. And then you might have something to work with. You might be entertaining. Or you'll find that you get negative feedback and you kind of have to go back to the drawing board, or you stick it out because that's something that you enjoy. Ultimately, end of the day, you have to do what you enjoy and you have to speak how you enjoy it. Because if you sound fake, trust me, you're gonna sound fake, and it's not what we want and it's not what the viewers want. So, very short episode, I know, kind of almost a filler episode of just finding your voice and style, where to look, why you should find your voice and style, and just kind of ever so slightly how to hone it in. Now, if you want to kind of hear my casting style, you can, I highly recommend going to Twitch, YouTube, Condors Esports. I usually am casting Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Tuesdays League of Legends, and Wednesdays Call of Duty. Sometimes you'll catch me on a Valorant stream, but most of the time it's League of Legends and Call of Duty. So you can also go to my socials. A lot of my tags is actually official Mute Chaos, and then X, Twitter is a little different. It's official Mute C because I've couldn't put the whole thing in. But highly recommend following and just, watching some stuff, watching me cast. You might find some inspiration there. And I will see you in the next episode.